we do not have a broad-based government. And we must continue to remind the Kenyan people that when President William Samoei Ruto talks about broad-based government, he's talking about his billionaire friends who will help him to draw an architect to win the next election whenever it comes. So we don't respect that the coastal land equation have not been sorted out, and people think that when Joe comes to government, it's a broad-based government. It's one billionaire from the coast region. When Badi comes to run the treasury, it's not the Luos. The Luos is not a monolithic whole. We have the poor majority Luos that will never benefit from this corrupt government. Then we have the Luo elite, which are mainly the billionaires that have been appointed by this regime to support corruption. So the question of a broad-based government does not apply within the UDA environment. Now, the second one is on the impeachment. And I wanted to pick just two issues on the impeachment so that we align. The first thing is Deputy Gachagua has been accused of corruption. But we know that the Kenya Kwanza regime itself is a product of corruption. Remember, President William Samoei Ruto has been palling around corrupt people that have been convicted. Did you not see Walukwe taking selfies with the president in Writing State House? Is that not corruption? The people who have been accused of shooting innocent people in point blank. We have MPs who have killed people during elections, are palling around government. The people in Mombasa, did we not see a lady in Mombasa, the supporter of William Samoei Ruto, his bodyguards and herself killing people? Now, when we talk about issues to do with corruptions, did we not see during the campaign time religious leaders and important politicians palling around the DP pavilion and coming out with envelopes? What was that? Was it not corruption? So Kenya Kwanza government is a product of corruption. And yesterday I had an important interaction at Mukuru kwa Njenga at Kware. And I like the connotation that the young people there were saying that the Kenya Kwanza government has, it's a bus with several components. And they were saying, President William Samoei Ruto is the driver, and then the Makanga is the deputy, and the turn boys are Madividi and Weta, and then they have hired a mechanic. Boys are Madividi and Weta, and then they have hired a mechanic called Raila Molodinga to try and fix their problems. And they were saying the bus is carrying the MPs. So that kind of connotation was very interesting for me, especially that it was coming from Mukuru kwa Njenga, Kware, where it represents the police extrajudicial killings. Okay. And the popular opinion from these people is that the entire Kenya Kwanza government and the people they have hired must go. The second charge, that it's the deputy president is being accused of tribal mobilization. Who is a tribal mobilizer more than the president? How did he get to get to be the head of state of this country? Did he not do tribal balkanization? And even now, after welcoming Raila Molodinga into government, on his visit to Luo Nyanza, what was he doing? Was he not doing tribal balkanization when they say it is the first time the Luo is heading the treasury? For the first time to mobilize the Luo community, to balkanize them to support one single corrupt Luo because they're supporting the government. That is not tribal balkanization. What we are saying that everything that the deputy president has been accused of, President William Samoei Ruto is guilty of. Okay. So if they are going together, the two pairs, they just go.
Welcome back to the Mora TV. So that's a very clear message from these activists and political activists who has been facing a lot of challenges, especially arrest and other intimidation and other methods. For the recent days, this guy has been facing a lot of trouble, and he has come to Citizen TV and he has highlighted some of the key things which Kenyans were forgetting, and he talked about things like corruption and the inclusivity in the broad-based government. As he says, the president is all lying about the broad-based government, because what is happening in the so-called broad-based government is not a broad-based government. It's just a scheme of corruption, as he said, where billionaires are just being appointed so that they can benefit each other as billionaires. You've seen the appointments of people from the coast, for example, like Joe, who is already a billionaire, and that hasn't solve the land issues in the coast. So there's a lot of things which are still in question and have not been talked about. He went ahead to mention the people like Mbadi. Honorable John Mbadi has been NP from Nyanza region, the Lake Nyanza region, and still there is a problem of poverty, and he has really changed nothing. With the inclusivity of Mbadi to the government doesn't necessarily mean that the people of Nyanza are going to benefit, but the problems of poverty is going to continue and continue. So there is a lot of problems which the country is facing at the moment, and it's really going to show its character in the coming days. We have seen a lot of things which are purported to be like they are broad-based government, but as this gentleman puts it, it's still a lie, and it's still a very big lie. So the story of inclusiveness is yet to be tackled very well at the moment, and a lot is still pending. Some questions are not still answered. It's only a tribal alliance of billionaires so that they can focus on the coming days of 2027. Make sure you comment what you think.